Imagine a dietary strategy that burns fat, preserves muscle, improves heart health, and stabilizes blood sugar, all while reducing hunger. That's the promise of intermittent fasting. Instead of obsessing over calories, intermittent fasting focuses on when you eat, syncing with your body's natural rhythms for better results. By timing meals around resistance training and prioritizing hormonal balance, intermittent fasting becomes a sustainable, intuitive approach to health and body transformation. The real goal of intermittent fasting is to shift your body from burning sugar to burning fat for fuel. When hunger fades and energy stabilizes, you know your body is running on its own fat reserves. True metabolic freedom. This isn't just about weight loss, it's about breaking free from constant cravings and regaining control over your eating habits. The result? Steady energy, sharper focus, and a healthier relationship with food. To make fasting easier, pair it with a healthy keto diet. Low in carbs, high in quality fats and proteins, and packed with vegetables. This combination curbs hunger, boosts energy, and provides the nutrients your body needs to thrive. Healthy keto and intermittent fasting together create a powerful, sustainable path to lasting health and vitality. Fasting acts as a beneficial stressor, prompting your cells to repair and strengthen themselves. This preconditioning effect boosts resilience, reduces inflammation, and supports longevity, benefits proven in both animal and human studies. For those with excess weight, intermittent fasting is a potent tool for metabolic correction and overall health improvement. Intermittent fasting triggers a metabolic switch. Your body shifts from burning glucose to burning stored fat, producing ketones for energy. This switch enhances mental clarity, reduces inflammation, and trains your body to be metabolically flexible. By simply extending the time between meals, you tap into your body's natural ability to stay lean, resilient, and energized. Beyond the shift in fuel sources, one of the most exciting and significant scientific discoveries related to fasting is its ability to induce a process called autophagy. The word autophagy literally translates from Greek as self-eating, which provides a perfect, albeit slightly dramatic description of what happens. It is a fundamental cellular maintenance and recycling program that is hardwired into our biology. During autophagy, your cells identify and break down old, damaged, or dysfunctional components such as misfolded proteins, worn-out mitochondria, the energy factories of the cell, and other cellular debris. This process is absolutely essential for maintaining cellular health, preventing disease, and slowing down the aging process. It is, in essence, your body's internal quality control and sanitation system. In a constantly fed state, the process of autophagy is largely suppressed. When nutrients, particularly protein and glucose, are abundant, the body's primary signaling pathways are geared towards growth and proliferation, not repair and cleanup. The main pathway that inhibits autophagy is known as mTOR, or mammalian target of rapamycin. When you eat, mTOR is activated, which effectively puts the brakes on autophagy. However, when you fast, nutrient levels fall, insulin levels drop, and mTOR is suppressed. This releases the brakes on autophagy, allowing this critical cellular housekeeping process to ramp up significantly. It gives your cells the downtime they need to perform essential maintenance that is simply not possible when they are constantly busy processing incoming nutrients. The benefits of enhanced autophagy are vast and touch nearly every aspect of health. By clearing out aggregated proteins and damaged components, autophagy helps protect against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, which are characterized by the buildup of toxic protein plaques in the brain. It also plays a vital role in strengthening the immune system by clearing out intracellular pathogens like viruses and bacteria, and by recycling components to build new, more robust immune cells. Furthermore, by removing damaged mitochondria, autophagy improves overall metabolic health and energy efficiency. It is also considered a key anti-cancer mechanism, as it can eliminate damaged cells before they have the chance to become cancerous. Intermittent fasting is one of the most potent, non-pharmacological ways to stimulate this powerful rejuvenating process. While a short fast of 16 to 18 hours can begin to upregulate autophagy, longer fasts of 24 hours or more are thought to induce it even more profoundly. This cellular cleanup is a major reason why fasting is associated with so many anti-aging and disease prevention benefits. It's not just about what you're not eating, it's about the incredible restorative processes that you are activating within your body during the fasting period. You are giving your body the precious opportunity to repair, recycle, and renew itself from the inside out, leading to healthier, more resilient cells and a healthier, more resilient you. Intermittent fasting is a master conductor of your body's hormonal orchestra, creating a symphony that promotes fat loss, muscle preservation, and overall metabolic health. The most significant hormonal change is the dramatic reduction in levels of insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone released by the pancreas in response to eating, particularly carbohydrates. Its primary job is to shuttle glucose from the bloodstream into cells for energy, and to store any excess energy as glycogen or fat. Critically, when insulin levels are high, fat burning is effectively turned off. By fasting, you give your body an extended break from food, which allows insulin levels to fall and remain low. This drop in insulin is the key that unlocks your fat stores, signaling to your body that it's time to start burning stored fat for fuel. Lowering insulin consistently also leads to a dramatic improvement in insulin sensitivity. Many modern health problems, including obesity and type 2 diabetes, are rooted in a condition called insulin resistance, where the body's cells become numb to insulin signals after years of being bombarded by it from a high-carb, frequent-eating diet. Fasting helps to reverse this process by giving your cells a much-needed rest from insulin's constant presence. As your cells become more sensitive to insulin again, your body needs to produce less of it to do its job effectively. This improved sensitivity is fundamental to restoring metabolic health, controlling blood sugar, and making it easier to lose weight and keep it off long-term. While insulin levels are falling, another powerful hormone is on the rise, human growth hormone, or HGH. Fasting is one of the most potent natural stimuli for HGH secretion, with some studies showing increases of up to 5-fold or more during a fast. This is incredibly beneficial for several reasons. HGH plays a crucial role in preserving lean muscle mass and bone density, which is a common concern for people on conventional calorie-restricted diets. The surge in HGH during a fast helps to ensure that the weight you lose is primarily from fat, not precious muscle tissue. Furthermore, HGH facilitates fat burning by making stored fat more available for use as energy, working in perfect harmony with the low insulin levels. This powerful hormonal shift, the combination of low insulin and high HGH, creates the ideal environment for body recomposition burning fat while protecting or even building muscle. But the hormonal effects don't stop there. Fasting also increases levels of norepinephrine, a hormone that boosts your metabolism and helps break down body fat. This counters the common myth that fasting slows down your metabolism. In the short term, it actually speeds it up. This intricate interplay of hormones demonstrates that the benefits of intermittent fasting go far beyond simple calorie counting. It is a powerful tool to reset your body's hormonal software, shifting you from a state of fat storage to a state of optimized fat burning and cellular rejuvenation. Embarking on your intermittent fasting journey can feel like a big change, but the first step is surprisingly simple and honestly, pretty intuitive. The easiest way to begin is to simply skip breakfast, or at the very least, start pushing your first meal of the day later and later, closer to lunchtime. When you wake up in the morning, take a moment to honestly assess your body's signals. Ask yourself, am I genuinely physically hungry, or am I just reaching for food out of pure, lifelong habit? For many people, morning hunger isn't real hunger at all. It's a conditioned response built over years of being told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. The foundational rule you need to adopt is this: don't eat if you're not hungry. This simple principle will be your most reliable guide as you start to listen to your body's true needs. To make this transition easier and set yourself up for success, what you eat for your other meals becomes incredibly important. The key to not feeling ravenous in the morning is to keep your carbohydrate intake low during your lunch and dinner. If you consume a meal high in carbs like pasta, bread, or sugary desserts, your blood sugar will spike and then crash, which will inevitably lead to strong hunger signals and cravings the very next morning. By keeping your total carbs for the day low, aiming for roughly 20 to 30 grams as you would on a ketogenic diet, you stabilize your blood sugar and insulin levels. This metabolic stability is what allows you to wake up feeling energized and clear-headed, rather than hungry and desperate for your next sugar fix. This initial phase is all about gently easing your body into a new rhythm. Don't feel pressured to jump into a full 16 or 18-hour fast on your first day. Start by simply delaying your breakfast by an hour. Once that feels comfortable, push it back another hour. Maybe you have your first meal at 10 a.m. for a week, then move it to 11 a.m., and eventually you will find that waiting until noon is completely manageable. This gradual approach allows your body and your mind to adapt without feeling overwhelmed or deprived. It's a process of retraining your habits and your metabolism, and patience is your greatest ally. Remember, you are unlearning decades of conventional dietary advice, so be kind to yourself as you make this powerful shift. The psychological component of skipping breakfast is often the biggest hurdle. We are creatures of habit, and the morning ritual of eating is deeply ingrained in our culture and daily routines. You might find yourself thinking about food simply because it's breakfast time. This is where mindfulness comes in. Recognize these thoughts for what they are: old patterns, not urgent biological commands. Instead of eating, have a large glass of water, maybe with a squeeze of lemon, or a cup of black coffee or tea. Engaging in a new morning routine, like going for a walk, meditating, or focusing on your most important task for the day, can help redirect your focus and prove to yourself that you don't need food to be productive and energetic in the morning. As you begin to push your first meal later into the day, you will need some strategies to help manage any waves of hunger that may arise. One of the most effective tools in your arsenal can be bulletproof coffee. This is simply black coffee with a source of pure fat blended in, typically grass-fed butter or MCT oil. This practice is incredibly helpful for beginners because the fat provides a profound sense of satiety that can easily carry you through the morning. Butter is very satisfying and helps to curb your appetite, while MCT oil, a special type of fat extracted from coconut oil, is unique because it is rapidly converted into ketones by your liver. These ketones provide your brain and body with a clean, stable source of energy, making it much easier to fast until your first meal without feeling deprived or tired. If you are not a coffee drinker, you can still reap the benefits of this strategy. Simply taking a tablespoon of MCT oil on its own can have a similar effect. It's flavorless, and can be taken straight or mixed into a cup of herbal tea. The quick conversion to ketones gives you a direct energy source that doesn't require an insulin response, thereby keeping you in a fasted, fat-burning state while eliminating hunger pangs. It's a fantastic hack that helps bridge the gap as your body becomes more adapted to using its own stored fat for fuel. This little boost can make the difference between struggling through the morning and fasting effortlessly, so it's a valuable tool to keep in your back pocket during the initial stages of your journey. It's also crucial to understand the hormonal landscape of your morning. Our bodies operate on natural circadian rhythms, and various hormones fluctuate throughout the day. One of the most relevant of these is cortisol, our primary stress hormone. Cortisol levels naturally peak around 8 o'clock in the morning to help us wake up and feel alert. This cortisol spike can sometimes be misinterpreted as hunger, creating a sensation in your stomach that feels like you need to eat. However, this is often just a hormonal signal, not a true need for calories. My advice in this situation is to simply ignore it. More often than not, if you just wait it out for 15 to 20 minutes, this phantom hunger will pass as your hormones rebalance. Learning to differentiate between true, deep hunger and these fleeting hormonal sensations is a skill you will develop over time. As you become more experienced with fasting, you will get better at reading your body's signals. The minor feelings of emptiness in the morning will likely fade away entirely. However, it is important to listen to your body. If you ignore the sensation and it doesn't go away, and you begin to feel genuinely dizzy, weak, or excessively tired, then you should eat. There is a learning curve, and it's important to be sensible. But with practice, you'll find that most morning hunger is just noise, and you can comfortably and confidently fast right through it, especially if you have managed your carbohydrate intake the day before. When you do break your fast with your first meal, how you structure that meal is critically important for setting you up for continued success. At the end of this first meal, I strongly recommend that you intentionally add some extra healthy fat. This could be a handful of low-carb nuts like pecans or macadamia nuts, some delicious olives, a spoonful of natural peanut or almond butter, a piece of high-fat cheese like brie, or a fatty cut of meat. The reason for this is simple. When you are just starting out with intermittent fasting, your body has not yet fully adapted to burning fat as its primary fuel source. You are still building the metabolic machinery required for efficient fat burning. This added fat at the end of your meal serves a very practical purpose. It acts as a powerful tool for satiety, helping you feel fuller and more satisfied for a much longer period. This deep satisfaction will make it significantly easier for you to fast through the rest of an afternoon, and all the way to your next meal without feeling hungry or experiencing cravings. The combination of the fasting period itself, along with a low-carbohydrate diet, and this strategic addition of fat, is what truly accelerates your body's adaptation process. You are effectively teaching your cells how to run on a new superior fuel source, and providing them with plenty of that fuel helps to make the transition smoother and more comfortable. This same principle applies to your last meal of the day as well. By adding a source of healthy fat at the end of your dinner, you are effectively fueling your body for the long fasting period ahead, through the evening and overnight. This can be particularly helpful for those who struggle with nighttime snacking. When you finish your dinner feeling truly full and satisfied, the desire to graze on snacks later in the evening diminishes significantly. It's a proactive strategy that addresses cravings before they even have a chance to start. This consistent practice of bookending your meals with healthy fats helps to stabilize your energy levels and appetite, creating a smooth and steady experience from one eating window to the next. Remember, the goal here is to create a sustainable lifestyle, not a short-term diet. By using fat strategically, you are working with your body's hormonal signals, not against them. Fat has a minimal impact on insulin, the hormone that drives hunger and fat storage, while providing long-lasting energy. This is a fundamental shift away from the high-carb, low-fat paradigm that leaves people feeling hungry every few hours. You are moving towards a way of eating that promotes metabolic health, hormonal balance, and a sense of control over your appetite. This simple habit of adding healthy fat to your meals is one of the most powerful things you can do to ensure your intermittent fasting journey is both successful and enjoyable. Once you have become comfortable with skipping breakfast and waiting until noon to have your first meal, you have naturally fallen into one of the most popular intermittent fasting schedules, the 16-8 method. This means you are fasting for 16 hours each day, and consuming all of your meals within an 8-hour eating window, for example, from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is an excellent starting point and a sustainable long-term strategy for many people. It provides a consistent daily period of fasting that is long enough to lower insulin, stimulate autophagy, and promote fat burning, while still being flexible enough to fit into most social and family lifestyles. For many, this 16-8 schedule becomes the sweet spot where they can experience the majority of the benefits of fasting. As your body adapts and you become more metabolically flexible, you may find that you can comfortably and naturally extend your fasting window even further. This is not something you need to force. It should be a natural progression guided by your own hunger signals. You might find that you're just not hungry at noon anymore, and you can easily wait until 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. to have your first meal. This might lead you to an 18-6 schedule, 18 hours of fasting with a 6-hour eating window, for example, from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. An 18-hour fast can amplify many of the benefits, leading to deeper ketosis, more significant autophagy, and potentially accelerated fat loss and health improvements. The key is to let your body lead the way. There is no magic schedule that works for everyone, and there is no need to push yourself into longer fasts if you feel good and are getting results with a 16-8 schedule. However, if you feel great and your appetite is low, experimenting with compressing your eating window can be a powerful tool. Some people thrive on a 24 schedule or even OMAD, which stands for one meal a day, where they consume all their calories in a very short window. These more advanced approaches can be excellent for breaking through weight loss plateaus or maximizing the therapeutic benefits of fasting, but they should be approached gradually after you have built a solid foundation. Ultimately, the goal is to find a sustainable rhythm that works for your life, your goals, and your body. This might mean you stick with 16-8 during the week and are a bit more flexible on the weekends, or you might incorporate a longer 24-hour fast once a week or once a month for an added boost. The beauty of intermittent fasting is its flexibility. It's not a rigid one-size-fits-all diet. It's a pattern of eating that you can adapt and modify over time. Listen to your body, be patient with the process, and celebrate the non-scale victories along the way, such as reduced hunger, increased energy, and improved mental clarity. These are the true signs that you are successfully rebooting your metabolism. Now, as we delve deeper into structuring your meals, I want to spend a moment to really clarify this crucial concept of healthy keto. What exactly does it mean? It's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but its definition is vital for your long-term success. Healthy keto is not just about the simple act of going low-carb, it's a comprehensive approach that prioritizes the use of high-quality foods that are exceptionally rich in nutrients. The last thing you want is to successfully lose weight but end up looking haggard and unhealthy. I'm being a bit sarcastic, but we've all seen people who after a diet look drained, their skin is dull, their hair is dried out, and they somehow appear older. Our goal is the complete opposite. We want you to look fantastic as you follow this lifestyle, to appear younger, and to radiate that unmistakable healthy glow that comes from true nourishment. This vibrant result is achieved through the powerful combination of a low-carbohydrate diet, intermittent fasting, and a steadfast commitment to using superior, healthier ingredients in every meal. This brings us to an important distinction: the difference between healthy keto and what many people call dirty keto. With a dirty keto approach, you might be hitting your low-carb, high-fat macros, but you're doing it with low-quality processed foods. Think fast food burgers without the bun, processed meats, and unhealthy industrial seed oils. Yes, because you're not eating the bun, it's technically low-carb, and you might even lose some weight initially. However, you are depriving your body of the essential vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients it needs to thrive. This is a very low-quality way of eating that I absolutely do not recommend. It trades one set of health problems for another and completely misses the point of using food to build a resilient, energetic body. It's a short-sighted strategy that will not lead to the lasting vitality we are aiming for. Healthy keto, on the other hand, is about building your meals around whole, unprocessed foods. This means focusing on high-quality sources of protein like grass-fed beef, pasture-raised poultry, and wild-caught fish. It means embracing healthy fats from sources like avocados, extra virgin olive oil, nuts and seeds. And critically, it means consuming a large and varied amount of non-starchy vegetables and leafy greens. These foods are not just vehicles for macros. They are packed with the micronutrients your body is craving. They provide the potassium, magnesium, folate, and antioxidants that support everything from your energy levels and cellular function to the health of your liver and immune system. This focus on nutrient density is what elevates the ketogenic diet from a simple weight loss tool to a powerful therapeutic lifestyle for creating optimal health. So, when you think about your meals, I want you to shift your focus from just avoiding carbs to actively seeking out nutrient-rich foods. Every bite you take during your eating window is an opportunity to provide your body with the high-quality building blocks it needs to heal and rejuvenate. This is the essence of getting healthy to lose weight. By nourishing your body at a cellular level with the best ingredients possible, you support all the beneficial processes that intermittent fasting initiates, like autophagy and hormonal regulation. This synergy is what creates sustainable, transformative results, ensuring that you don't just reach your goal weight, but you arrive there looking and feeling more vibrant and alive than ever before. Now that we understand the importance of food quality, let's talk about the structure of your eating period. The time frame in which you consume your meals is known as your eating window. For the sake of a clear example, let's imagine you've settled into a very effective schedule where your first meal is at 12 noon and your second meal is at 6 p.m. This gives you a 6-hour eating window. When you're just starting out on this journey, there might be a temptation to have small snacks between these two main meals. However, I want to challenge you to resist this urge and aim for just 2 distinct meals with no eating in between. By doing this, you are effectively creating an additional mini-fasting period right in the middle of your day. This structure of having 2 well-formulated, nutrient-dense meals is incredibly powerful. It simplifies your life by reducing the amount of time you need to spend thinking about preparing and eating food, but more importantly, it provides a very clear framework that helps to regulate your hormones and appetite. Each meal should be substantial enough to carry you through to the next. Your first meal at noon should be satisfying, containing a good source of protein, healthy fats, and a large portion of vegetables or a big salad. This will replenish you after your morning fast and provide you with steady energy for the afternoon. Then your second meal at 6 p.m. should be similarly robust, again with protein, fat, and vegetables, designed to fuel you through the evening, and your entire 18-hour fast until the next day. This 2-meal-a-day approach is a cornerstone of a successful intermittent fasting practice. If you successfully maintain this 6-hour eating window with 2 meals, you are automatically giving yourself an 18-hour fasting cycle every single day. This is a fantastic achievement and a schedule that can produce truly amazing results. An 18-hour fast is long enough to significantly lower insulin, promote the cellular cleanup process of autophagy, boost human growth hormone, and put your body firmly into a fat-burning state for several hours each day. You will likely see remarkable improvements not just in your weight, but in your energy levels, mental clarity, and overall sense of well-being. This 18-6 schedule is often considered the sweet spot for many people, providing a perfect balance of profound health benefits and practical real-world sustainability. It's a powerful rhythm that your body can adapt to and thrive on for the long term. It's important to remember that these 2 meals need to contain all the nutrition your body requires for the entire day. This is another reason why focusing on nutrient-dense, high-quality foods is non-negotiable. You can't afford to fill up on empty calories. Each meal needs to be intentionally constructed to provide adequate protein to preserve muscle mass, sufficient healthy fats for energy and satiety, and a wide array of vitamins and minerals from vegetables to support your body's countless biochemical processes. When you get this formula right, the 2-meal structure feels incredibly natural and freeing. You eat until you are comfortably full, and then you simply forget about food until your next scheduled meal, liberating you from the constant cycle of hunger and grazing that plagues so many people. Now I need to be very direct about one of the biggest saboteurs of progress on this journey: snacking. The habit of grazing between meals is perhaps the single greatest killer for achieving the results you want, and it's a habit we really must break. The fundamental problem with snacking is that it constantly stimulates insulin. Remember, every single time you eat, no matter how small or healthy the snack is, you trigger a release of the hormone insulin from your pancreas. So, what are we actually trying to achieve with intermittent fasting and a healthy keto diet? We're trying to fix the underlying condition of insulin resistance, a problem that was created in the first place by chronically high levels of insulin over a long period. This condition is the direct result of a lifestyle characterized by constant eating and a high intake of carbohydrates. Snacking just perpetuates the very problem we are working so hard to solve. Even if your snack is low in carbohydrates, like a handful of nuts or a piece of cheese, it will still trigger an insulin response, especially from the protein content. This insulin spike, even if it's smaller than one from a carbohydrate-rich snack, is enough to halt the fat-burning process in its tracks. It basically slams the door shut on your fat cells and tells your body to stop using stored fat for energy. It completely interrupts the beneficial state of fasting you were in. This is why even small, seemingly innocent snacks can stall your weight loss, prevent you from getting the deeper benefits of fasting like autophagy, and keep you tethered to the cycle of hunger and cravings. To truly heal your metabolism, you need to give your body extended periods of time with very low insulin, and honestly, snacking makes this impossible. Think of it this way: your digestive system and your hormones really need a genuine break. The constant drip feed of food from grazing keeps your system working overtime, never allowing it the downtime it needs to rest, repair, and reset. By eliminating snacks and sticking to your defined meal times, you give your body the precious gift of a hormonal and digestive pause. This allows insulin levels to fall and stay low for a significant portion of the day, which is the master switch that allows your body to become incredibly efficient at burning its own fat for fuel. This is how you break free from food dependency. It's how you retrain your body to use the tens of thousands of calories you have stored on your frame, leading to effortless fat loss and stable, all-day energy without the need to constantly refuel. Overcoming the snacking habit can be challenging, as it's often driven more by psychology and habit than by true physical hunger. We snack when we're bored, stressed, or simply because it's a certain time of day. The key is to be prepared. Make sure your 2 main meals are large enough and contain enough healthy fat and protein to keep you genuinely full and satisfied. Drink plenty of water, black coffee, or herbal tea between meals, and find other activities to engage in when the urge to snack strikes. Go for a walk, tackle a task, or do something you enjoy. By consciously choosing not to snack, you are making a powerful statement that you are in control of your food, not the other way around. This is a critical step in fixing your metabolism and unlocking the full transformative power of intermittent fasting. Alright, let's address one of the most common and destructive hurdles that can completely derail your progress: the challenge of night snacking. I know this might sound unbelievable to some, but there are people out there who find it incredibly difficult to stop eating after dinner. This habit of grazing in the evening really has to be eliminated if you want to achieve the profound benefits we've been discussing. I can speak from personal experience here. I used to be a professional night snacker. My evenings, from the moment dinner ended until I went to bed, were a constant parade of food. I was always putting something in my mouth, whether it was nuts, a piece of fruit like an apple, salty chips, you name it, I ate it. And let's not even talk about the popcorn. Oh my gosh, that was a huge one for me. This constant eating is incredibly detrimental to your health goals. This pattern of nighttime grazing is so damaging because it completely undermines the fasting period you are trying to create. Your body is supposed to be winding down, repairing itself, and preparing for a long, restorative fast overnight. Instead, when you snack, you are sending a flood of glucose and insulin into your system right before you go to sleep. This not only halts fat burning but actually promotes fat storage. It keeps your digestive system working hard when it should be resting, which can interfere with the quality of your sleep. You might fall asleep, but your body isn't getting the deep, rejuvenating rest it needs because it's too busy processing the food you just ate. This creates a vicious cycle where poor sleep leads to hormonal imbalances the next day, increasing your cravings for junk food and making it even harder to fast. The urge to snack at night is rarely driven by true physical hunger. More often than not, it's a deeply ingrained habit tied to emotion, boredom, or routine. You finish dinner, you sit down to relax and watch TV, and your brain automatically sends the signal that something is missing a snack. It's a conditioned response, a psychological craving rather than a physiological need. Recognizing this is the first and most crucial step to breaking free. You must start to question the impulse. When that urge to snack hits, pause and ask yourself, am I actually hungry, or am I just bored? Am I stressed? Am I just eating because this is what I always do? This moment of self-awareness is your opportunity to break the pattern and make a different choice. To overcome this, we have to start by making a conscious decision that the kitchen is closed after dinner. This isn't about deprivation, it's about giving your body the incredible gift of a proper fast. It's about allowing your body the time it needs to heal, burn fat, and reset its hormonal systems. The benefits you will gain: better sleep, more energy, easier fat loss, and improved health far outweigh the fleeting momentary pleasure of a handful of chips or a bowl of ice cream. We need to dismantle this habit piece by piece, and it starts with the firm resolution that after your final satisfying meal of the day, you are done eating until your next eating window opens. This simple rule is a non-negotiable foundation for success. So, how do we practically put an end to this destructive night snacking habit? The first tool we must employ is good old-fashioned self-discipline. However, self-discipline is like a muscle. It can be strengthened, but it also gets tired. We can't rely on willpower alone, especially at the end of a long day when we are most vulnerable. Therefore, we must combine self-discipline with a much more powerful strategy: designing our environment for success. The single most effective way to stop eating snacks at night is to not buy any snacks in the first place. If the junk food is not in your house, you simply cannot eat it. It's that simple. You must be ruthless at the grocery store. Walk right past the snack aisle and don't even give it a second glance. By making the decision once at the store, you save yourself from having to make that decision dozens of times at home when your willpower is low. Another key strategy is to stay busy and engaged in the evenings. Idle hands or an idle mind will often drift towards the pantry. If you are just sitting passively on the couch watching television, it creates a perfect storm for mindless snacking to take over. Instead, find activities that occupy your hands and your mind. This could be the perfect time to pick up a new hobby, read a captivating book, work on a puzzle, play a board game with your family, or do some light stretching. Anything that breaks the association between relaxing and eating will be incredibly helpful. You are essentially creating new, healthier evening routines that don't revolve around food. By replacing the old, destructive habit with a new, positive one, you make the transition away from snacking much smoother and more sustainable. I also firmly believe that what you do at dinner will set the stage for your entire evening. This goes back to what we discussed earlier. You must ensure you have a very big, satisfying dinner that includes a generous portion of healthy fat. When you finish your meal feeling genuinely full and satiated, the physical drive to eat more will be significantly reduced. This is why adding things like avocado, olive oil, or a fatty piece of meat to your dinner is so important. It provides long-lasting energy and a deep sense of satisfaction that a low-fat meal simply cannot match. When your body is truly nourished and content, it's much easier for your mind to resist the habitual psychological urges to graze on more food later on. A proper dinner is your best defense against nighttime cravings. Ultimately, you need to realize that the journey to break the snacking habit is a process of retraining your brain and your body. It won't happen overnight, and it requires a conscious and consistent effort. You are rewriting years or even decades of ingrained behavior, so be patient with yourself but also be firm in your resolve. Use the strategies of environmental design by cleaning out your pantry, stay busy with engaging activities, and fortify yourself with a substantial, fat-rich dinner. Each night that you successfully avoid snacking is a victory that strengthens your self-discipline and reinforces your new, healthy identity. It's a powerful step towards taking back control of your health and your life. Now, let's address a confusing and often frustrating paradox that many people experience when they start this journey. You might eat a large, satisfying dinner, feel physically full, yet an hour later you find yourself wanting more food. You don't feel truly satisfied. What is going on here? The answer for most people lies in the condition we've mentioned before: insulin resistance. You have to realize that if you are like me and millions of others, you likely have some degree of insulin resistance. This means that the cells in your body have become less responsive to the hormone insulin. As a result, even when you eat a nutrient-rich meal, your cells struggle to absorb those nutrients effectively. Your stomach might be full, but your cells are still metaphorically starving, and they send signals to your brain that you need to eat more. This is a critical concept to grasp because it explains why simply eating less or relying on willpower often fails. Your hunger is not a sign of weakness, it's a real biological signal driven by cellular dysfunction. Even though you've consumed plenty of calories and nutrients, your insulin-resistant cells can't properly access them. The glucose and nutrients can't get inside the cells efficiently, leaving them circulating in your bloodstream instead. This leads to that frustrating feeling of being full, but not satisfied. The true feeling of deep, lasting satisfaction will only come once the insulin resistance begins to heal, and your cells regain their ability to properly absorb and utilize the nourishment from the food you eat. This is a primary goal of our entire approach. So how do we accelerate this healing process? The very act of intermittent fasting and following a low-carb, healthy keto diet is the most powerful thing you can do. By keeping carbohydrates low, you reduce the amount of insulin your body needs to produce. By fasting, you give your body long periods where insulin levels can drop very low, giving your cells a much-needed break and a chance to resensitize themselves. But there's more we can do. The key is to flood your body with the specific nutrients that are known to improve insulin sensitivity. This is where focusing on nutrient-dense foods becomes absolutely essential. Foods rich in potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins are particularly important for helping insulin do its job more effectively. This is why a large salad and plenty of non-starchy vegetables are not optional. They are a core part of the therapeutic strategy. As you consistently apply these principles, fasting, eating low-carb, and prioritizing nutrient-dense foods, your insulin sensitivity will gradually improve. The process takes time, so patience is essential. But as your cells begin to heal, you will notice a profound shift. You will start to feel truly satisfied after your meals. The nagging hunger and cravings will begin to fade away. You'll be able to eat your dinner and feel completely content for the rest of the evening, easily fasting until the next day. This is a major milestone in your journey. It's the sign that you are not just losing weight, but you are fundamentally healing your metabolism from the inside out, which is the secret to long-term sustainable success. While your body is healing from insulin resistance, there are a few simple, powerful tools you can use to help manage your appetite and speed up the process. One of your greatest allies in this fight is apple cider vinegar. I highly recommend adding about a tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar to a glass of water and drinking it with your dinner. The magic ingredient in apple cider vinegar is acetic acid, and its biggest benefit is its proven ability to make your insulin more sensitive and to help regulate your blood sugar levels. By improving how insulin works, it directly helps your cells absorb more nutrients from the meal you just ate. This means you will feel more satisfied and less hungry after eating, making it a fantastic tool for weight management and appetite control. This simple addition can have a surprisingly significant impact. Because the acetic acid helps insulin work more efficiently, your body doesn't need to pump out as much of it in response to your meal. This is exactly what we want. Lower insulin levels mean less fat storage and more fat burning. By helping your body absorb more nourishment from your food, apple cider vinegar directly combats that frustrating feeling of being full but not satisfied. It helps to bridge the gap while your body is healing, making it easier to stick to your plan and avoid the temptation of snacking. It's an easy, inexpensive, and science-backed strategy that can give you a real edge in overcoming hunger and cravings, especially in the evening hours after your last meal. While you're adding apple cider vinegar to your water, I would also suggest you add some fresh lemon juice. You can use a teaspoon, half a lemon, or even a whole lemon, depending on your taste. Lemon juice adds a refreshing flavor, but it also provides significant health benefits. If you're using fresh lemon, you'll get a nice dose of vitamin C, which is a powerful antioxidant. More importantly, lemon juice is rich in citric acid. Citric acid can help prevent the formation of kidney stones, which can sometimes be a concern for people on a ketogenic diet. Furthermore, if you are at risk for gout, a condition that can sometimes be flared up by the temporary increase in uric acid during fasting, the citric acid in lemon can be very beneficial in mitigating that risk. So, creating this simple concoction of water with apple cider vinegar and lemon juice to drink with your dinner is a fantastic habit to cultivate. It's a trifecta of benefits. The apple cider vinegar improves your insulin sensitivity and appetite control. The lemon juice helps protect against kidney stones and gout, and the water itself helps with hydration and satiety. These small, consistent actions can make a huge difference in your overall success. They are the little things that, when done consistently, add up to create major positive changes in your health. Think of them as your secret weapons, helping you to conquer hunger, enhance your fast, and accelerate your journey toward a healthier, more vibrant you. Now, I want to emphasize another crucial element that is absolutely essential for your success, and it's something that often gets overlooked in simplistic discussions of low-carb diets. I'm talking about these wonderful things called vegetables. I cannot overstate how important it is for you to consume a significant quantity of vegetables, especially leafy greens, every single day. I highly recommend incorporating a very big salad into one of your meals. Personally, I might have my salad with my first meal or my second meal. It really just depends on the day. Remember, my eating window is often quite short, maybe only 3 or 4 hours, so I have to be strategic. But for you, following a standard 12 to 6 schedule, you have plenty of opportunity. You could have a salad with both meals, or you could simply commit to one enormous nutrient-packed salad each day. This is not just a suggestion, it's a foundational pillar of the healthy keto approach. There's a very practical reason I recommend eating your salad at the beginning of your meal. I have found through experience, both my own and with countless clients, that if you eat your protein and fat first, you will quickly feel full. Once you are full, the chances of you then going on to eat a large bowl of leafy greens become slim to none. Your appetite is gone, and the salad seems like a chore. However, if you reverse the order and eat your big salad first, you ensure you get all those vital nutrients in before you fill up on the denser parts of your meal. It's a simple psychological trick that guarantees you don't skip the most nutrient-dense part of your plate. This is just a minor point on timing, but it can make a major difference in your consistency and therefore your overall results. So, why are we so insistent on this large intake of vegetables? The benefits are immense. First and foremost, they are your primary source of 2 critical minerals, potassium and magnesium. These electrolytes are absolutely vital for correcting the insulin resistance problem we have been talking about. They help your cells become more sensitive to insulin, they support healthy blood pressure, and they are crucial for energy production. A deficiency in potassium and magnesium is often the root cause of issues like muscle cramps, fatigue, and heart palpitations, which some people mistakenly blame on the keto diet itself. The fiber in the vegetables also plays a vital role. It doesn't just help with digestion, it feeds the beneficial microbes in your gut. Your gut bacteria are not just passive residents, they are an active organ in your body. When you feed your gut microbes the fiber from vegetables, they ferment it and produce amazing compounds, including a type of fat called butyrate. This short-chain fatty acid is incredibly beneficial for your health. It provides energy for the cells lining your colon, it reduces inflammation throughout your body, and it even helps to improve your blood sugar control. I've found personally that if I don't consume my large salads, I just don't feel quite right. It becomes harder to get into and sustain ketosis, and the whole process doesn't go as smoothly. Furthermore, the phytonutrients and antioxidants in colorful vegetables are incredibly supportive of your liver, helping it to detoxify and function optimally. You will simply feel cleaner, more energetic, and healthier when you make vegetables a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Now, I want to take a moment to address a topic that causes a great deal of concern and confusion. It's a question I get over and over again. What happens if my cholesterol goes up? For a certain percentage of the population practicing a low-carb, high-fat diet, their total cholesterol numbers, particularly LDL cholesterol, can indeed increase. While for most people, cholesterol markers improve, for some, like my own wife, they go up. This can be alarming, especially when a doctor sees the report and immediately expresses concern. However, if you truly understand the physiology of what is happening in your body, you will see that it's not nearly as scary as it sounds. In fact, it is often a sign that the diet is working exactly as it should. Think about what we are trying to accomplish. We are trying to burn our stored body fat for energy. Your body fat is not just pure energy, it is composed of triglycerides, which are used for fuel, and also cholesterol, which is a structural component of every cell in your body. You do not burn cholesterol for energy, so as you liberate fat from your fat cells, both the triglycerides and the cholesterol have to be transported out. They have to go somewhere. The ultimate destination for processing this mobilized fat and cholesterol is your liver. The cholesterol is packaged into lipoprotein particles like LDL to be transported through the bloodstream. So if you are rapidly burning fat, you are essentially flooding your system with the raw materials from those fat cells, which includes a lot of cholesterol that needs to be trafficked. The rate at which your body can process and clear this cholesterol depends heavily on your liver function and specifically on your production of bile. Bile, which is produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder, is essential for breaking down and eliminating excess cholesterol from the body. If you have any sort of liver congestion, such as a fatty liver, or if you've had your gallbladder removed, your ability to produce and secrete adequate bile might be compromised. This can create a temporary backup or traffic jam of cholesterol in your bloodstream, simply because you are mobilizing it faster than your liver can clear it. Improving liver health and supporting bile flow with things like leafy greens and other vegetables can help this process significantly over time. But here's the most important point to understand, even if your total LDL cholesterol is high. If you were to get an advanced lipid profile test, which I highly recommend for anyone who is concerned, you would get a much more detailed picture. This test breaks down your LDL cholesterol by particle size. What you will almost certainly find is that the LDL that has increased is the large, fluffy, buoyant particle size. This is not the type of LDL that is associated with cardiovascular risk. The dangerous artery clogging type is the small, dense LDL. This small, dense LDL is primarily created by a high-carbohydrate, high-sugar diet, not a low-carb, high-fat one. So while your total number might be up, the type of cholesterol you have is the safe kind. I wouldn't worry about it, but if you are concerned, get the advanced test and see for yourself. As you embark on your intermittent fasting and keto journey, it's important to recognize that your body's demand for certain nutrients may temporarily increase. Sometimes people experience symptoms like keto fatigue, the so-called keto flu, muscle cramps, or even thyroid-related symptoms like feeling cold or hair thinning. In almost all cases, these symptoms are not a flaw in the diet itself, but are instead a sign that you have an underlying deficiency in specific nutrients. This is especially true if you have been eating a standard Western diet for many years, which is often low in key micronutrients. When you make a significant metabolic shift, these deficiencies can become more apparent. The good news is that they are very easy to correct with strategic supplementation. The two most important categories of supplements to consider are B vitamins and a full spectrum of electrolytes. The B vitamins are a family of water-soluble vitamins that act as cofactors in countless energy-producing reactions in your body. They are absolutely essential for converting fat and protein into usable energy. When you switch to a fat-based metabolism, the demand for these vitamins can go up. To ensure you are getting enough, I recommend supplementing with a natural B complex. My preferred source is nutritional yeast, which provides a food-based, balanced profile of all the B vitamins. Just a tablespoon or two a day can make a world of difference in your energy levels and prevent that feeling of fatigue that can sometimes accompany the initial adaptation phase. Equally, if not more important, are the electrolytes. This goes beyond just salt. The key players are sodium, potassium, and magnesium. When you lower your carbohydrate intake, your insulin levels fall, which signals your kidneys to excrete more sodium and water. As you lose sodium, you also lose other key minerals. This is why hydration and electrolyte replacement are so critical. I recommend using a high-quality electrolyte powder that specifically includes trace minerals as well. Look for a product that is high in potassium, as this is the one we need in the largest amounts and is often hardest to get from diet alone. Your body requires about 4,700 milligrams of potassium every single day, which is a huge amount to get from food, especially if you're not a big salad eater. Using an electrolyte powder is a fantastic backup plan and an insurance policy. It ensures you are replenishing the minerals you are losing, which will help you easily avoid all the common symptoms like keto fatigue, keto flu, headaches, and muscle cramps. By being proactive with your B vitamins and electrolytes, you can make your transition into intermittent fasting and ketosis incredibly smooth and symptom-free. This isn't about taking dozens of pills. It's about strategically providing your body with the key raw materials it needs to thrive during this powerful metabolic shift. When you support your body in this way, you allow the fasting process to work its magic without any unnecessary and preventable side effects, setting you up for a much more enjoyable and successful journey. As you become more comfortable with your new way of eating, it's easy to fall into a few common traps that can silently sabotage your progress. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is underestimating the impact of small protein snacks. Let's say you're on a roll with your fasting, you're feeling good, but you hit a little energy slump in the afternoon. You might think, I'll just have a little snack to push me through until dinner, believing that a small, low-calorie option is a harmless crutch. A classic example is having a scoop of peanut butter. While it seems like a healthy choice, you have to remember that protein triggers insulin. It's not as potent as carbohydrates, but it absolutely will cause an insulin spike. And what happens about an hour and a half after that insulin spike? You're going to be hungry again, and it will throw you completely off your plan. This is a critical point to understand. There are really only two things you can consume that will not stimulate a significant insulin response: pure fat and pure fiber. This is why things like MCT oil in your coffee work so well. It's pure fat that provides energy without breaking your hormonal fast. Fiber, like a few stalks of celery without the peanut butter, also has a minimal impact. But the moment you introduce protein, you're sending a signal to your pancreas to release insulin, which halts fat burning. When I troubleshoot with people who aren't getting the results they want, I often discover this pattern. They'll tell me, well, I'm sort of doing keto and fasting, but I have a couple of little protein snacks through the day. This is precisely why their results are stalling. These small, seemingly innocent snacks are a killer for progress, even if they are healthy. Another major pitfall is the lack of awareness around how a little bit of carbohydrate can completely derail your efforts. When you're trying to get into a deep state of ketosis and maximize your fat burning, even a small amount of carbs can have a surprisingly large impact. You might be going along perfectly, and then at night you think, I'll just have a little glass of wine, it doesn't have many calories. Or perhaps during the day, you decide that just one small piece of bread won't hurt. What you must realize is that this little bit of carbohydrate can be enough to completely knock you out of ketosis for a significant amount of time. It's not about the calories. It's about the hormonal signal that the carbohydrate sends to your body, which is to stop burning fat immediately. To put this in perspective, just half a glass of wine can be enough to kick your body out of a fat-burning state for up to 24 hours. If you have a couple of drinks on a Friday or Saturday night, you can essentially wipe out any fat burning or ketosis for the entire weekend. You're effectively pressing the pause button on your progress. I'm not telling you that you can never have these things again, but I am acting as the messenger to give you the information you need to make informed choices. If you decide to include these things, you can no longer be surprised if the results are not what you want them to be. Many people are still stuck in the old mindset of just counting calories, but they fail to appreciate the profound hormonal effects that different types of food have on the body. Now I want to address a piece of deeply ingrained yet profoundly false information that we have all been told countless times. The idea that everything in moderation is the key to health. We hear it all the time. Just a little bit is fine. There are no bad foods, it's all about balance. I am here to tell you that this is absolutely not true, especially when you are in a state of metabolic disease and are actively trying to get healthy. When your body is already in an out-of-balance state, like insulin resistance, the worst advice anyone could possibly give you is to just balance everything out and eat a little bit of everything. This approach is what caused the problem in the first place, and it will only perpetuate it. You don't need balance, you need targeted therapeutic action. Think about it logically. To correct an imbalance, you need to apply a strong opposing force. You don't treat a house fire with moderation. You use a powerful, overwhelming amount of water. Similarly, to fix a body that has been damaged by years of excessive carbohydrate intake and constant eating, You need to implement a powerful strategy that does the opposite. This is why fasting is the most important thing you can do for your health. It directly counters the state of being constantly fed. This is also why you must strictly avoid the food that causes the most damage, which is carbohydrate, while eating the food that helps you heal, which is healthy fat, in high amounts. The only macronutrient you truly want to eat in moderation is protein, enough to maintain your lean mass, but not so much that it constantly spikes your insulin. This brings me to the next critical point, which is consistency. I once had a client who, after a few weeks, told me that my program didn't work. When I asked for details, he said, well, it did work for the 2 weeks I was on it, but then I stopped, and it didn't keep working. This highlights a fundamental misunderstanding. Intermittent fasting and healthy keto are not a short-term fix you do for a few weeks to solve your weight problem and then go back to your old ways. This must be understood as a lifelong change, a new lifestyle, a set of habits that you need to practice consistently for the rest of your life if you want to maintain your health. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't just do it for a month and expect your teeth to stay clean forever. It's a daily practice for long-term maintenance. The need for this consistency comes from the reality of how long it took to create the problem. The average person, myself included, has spent decades eating poorly. We have developed a chronic, deeply embedded state of insulin resistance. This is not a minor issue, it's a serious metabolic problem. Therefore, the time and effort required to truly fix it will be much greater than what most people initially think. You must be prepared to be consistent over the long haul. This isn't a 30-day challenge, it's a permanent upgrade to your operating system. Embracing this mindset from the beginning is crucial for setting realistic expectations and committing to the journey, not just the destination. This leads us directly to the final and perhaps most important virtue you must cultivate on this journey: patience. It's just so easy to get discouraged when you hear about a friend or family member who tried this and dropped 20 pounds in the first month, while your own progress feels much slower. You have to understand that everyone's body is different. Your starting point, your level of insulin resistance, your hormonal health, your stress levels, and your history are unique to you. The time it takes for your body to heal and respond will also be unique. This is why you must give it time. You cannot rush physiology. You have to let the process unfold at its own pace, trusting that if you are consistent, the results will come. This is why you are called a patient in a clinical setting, and why doctors have a waiting room. Healing takes time. To help cultivate this patience, it is absolutely vital that you shift your focus away from just the number on the scale. Obsessing over daily weight fluctuations is a recipe for frustration and will make you want to quit. Instead, focus on the other, more meaningful indicators of improving health. Are you less hungry? Is your appetite gone for long stretches of the day? Do you have more stable energy? Are you experiencing improvements in your cognitive function, like better focus and memory? Is your chronic joint pain or inflammation decreasing? These are the real signs that it's working. These are the indicators that you are successfully creating health. The weight loss is simply a side effect of this healing process. It will happen, but it should not be your only measure of success. You must internalize the fact that the number of years an average person has been eating poorly is a very long time. The metabolic damage has been cumulative, building up slowly over decades. Therefore, it is only logical that the time it takes to reverse this damage will also be significant. It's not going to be fixed in 2 weeks or even 2 months for many people. The level of effort and commitment required will be a lot more than you might initially think. Prepare yourself mentally for a marathon, not a sprint. This mindset shift is everything. When you accept that this is a long-term healing journey, you stop looking for quick fixes and start embracing the daily habits that build lasting health. You become a student of your own body, learning its signals and celebrating every small step forward. So let go of the idea that this will all happen quickly. Release yourself from the pressure of arbitrary timelines. Commit to the process, not just the outcome. Be consistent with the principles we've discussed: intermittent fasting, a low-carb healthy keto diet, nutrient-dense foods, and smart supplementation. And above all, be patient with your body as it undertakes the incredible work of healing itself. This is not a diet, it is a return to the way your body was designed to function. It's a sustainable lifestyle that can provide you with a level of health and vitality you may not have thought possible. Trust the process, be patient, and the results will follow. We have covered a tremendous amount of ground together on this journey into the world of intermittent fasting and healthy keto. It's a path that moves far beyond the simplistic and often ineffective advice of just eating less and moving more. Instead, it offers a profound paradigm shift, encouraging you to work in harmony with your body's innate hormonal and metabolic systems. We began by demystifying intermittent fasting, understanding it not as a diet of deprivation, but as a strategic pattern of eating that allows your body to switch from being a constant sugar burner to an efficient fat-burning machine. This metabolic flexibility is the cornerstone of everything we aim to achieve, freeing you from the relentless cycle of hunger and cravings that dictates so many people's lives and puts you back in control. The core principle we've reiterated is that you must first get healthy in order to lose weight, not the other way around. This is achieved by combining the powerful therapeutic stress of fasting with the deep nourishment of a healthy keto diet. We've distinguished this from dirty keto, emphasizing that food quality is paramount. Your meals within your eating window must be built upon a foundation of nutrient-dense whole foods, high-quality proteins, and abundance of healthy fats from sources like avocados and olive oil, and most critically, a large volume of non-starchy vegetables and leafy greens. These foods provide the essential vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes like potassium and magnesium that support your body through its healing process, preventing common pitfalls like fatigue and muscle cramps. We've laid out a practical step-by-step guide to get you started, beginning with the simple act of pushing your breakfast later and listening to your body's true hunger signals. We discussed how to structure your eating window, ideally with 2 substantial meals and no snacking in between, to maximize your fasting benefits. This structure, such as an 18-6 schedule, gives your body a significant daily period to lower insulin, activate the cellular cleanup process of autophagy, and boost fat-burning hormones like human growth hormone. We also armed you with strategies to conquer challenges like nighttime cravings by using tools like self-discipline, environmental design, and powerful allies like apple cider vinegar and lemon water to improve insulin sensitivity and satiety. This entire framework is designed to do one thing: to help you heal the underlying condition of insulin resistance that is at the root of so many modern health struggles. By consistently practicing intermittent fasting and nourishing your body with high-quality, low-carbohydrate foods, you give your cells the chance to rest, repair, and regain their sensitivity to insulin. This is the path to true metabolic freedom. It's a journey that promises not just a lower number on the scale, but a fundamental upgrade to your energy, your mental clarity, your mood, and your overall vitality, creating a version of you that is more resilient and vibrant than ever before. As you embark on or continue this transformative journey, it is absolutely essential to adopt a mindset of patience and self-compassion. We have dismantled the myth of the quick fix, recognizing that the metabolic damage accrued over years or even decades will not be undone in a matter of weeks. This is why we must shift our definition of success away from the volatile and often misleading daily fluctuations of the bathroom scale. While weight loss is a welcome and expected outcome of this process, it should be seen as a side effect of genuine healing, not the primary goal itself. Your focus must broaden to encompass the full spectrum of non-scale victories that signal true progress and profound improvements in your health. Pay close attention to these more meaningful indicators. Notice the day you work right through the afternoon without once thinking about food because your hunger has simply vanished. Celebrate the newfound mental clarity and sharpness that replaces the brain fog you had come to accept as normal. Acknowledge the deep, restorative sleep you now experience, waking up refreshed and energetic instead of groggy and tired. Feel the difference in your joints as chronic inflammation begins to subside. These are the undeniable signs that your body is healing from the inside out. These victories are the evidence that you are successfully lowering insulin, improving cellular function, and reclaiming your metabolic health. And they are far more important than any number. This process is a marathon, not a sprint, and your path is uniquely your own. It is crucial to avoid the comparison trap. Your colleague or neighbor may have had different results in their first month, but their biology, their history, and their starting point are entirely different from yours. Trust in your own journey. Embrace the daily practice and the consistent application of the principles we have discussed. See every meal as an opportunity to nourish your body and every fasting period as a gift of healing and rejuvenation that you give to yourself. This shift in perspective from a restrictive diet to a positive act of self-care is fundamental to creating a sustainable lifestyle that you can maintain for the rest of your life. Remember, you are unlearning a lifetime of conventional wisdom and retraining your body to function as it was designed. This takes time, consistency, and a deep well of patience. Be the patient in the waiting room of your own healing. Trust that your body has an incredible, innate capacity to repair itself when given the right conditions. By providing these conditions, through fasting, nutrient-dense foods, and a commitment to the process, you are facilitating a powerful transformation. Embrace every step of this journey. Celebrate the small wins along the way, and know that you are building a foundation for vibrant, long-term health that extends far beyond mere weight loss. The knowledge you now possess is a powerful tool, but knowledge without action remains inert. Your path forward is clear. It is a call to consistent, deliberate action. This is not about achieving perfection, but about striving for consistency. It is about making the conscious choice, day after day, to honor your body and your health. The journey begins with the very next meal you plan, and the next fasting window you observe. Commit to the principles of healthy keto, loading your plate with vibrant vegetables, high-quality protein, and healthy fats. Make the decision at the grocery store to bypass the aisles filled with processed snacks and sugary temptations, designing your home environment to be a sanctuary that supports your goals. This lifestyle is not a prison of restriction, it is a gateway to freedom. It is freedom from the tyranny of constant hunger, freedom from the roller coaster of energy crashes and brain fog, and freedom from the fear of chronic diseases that cast a shadow over so many lives. Each hour you fast, you are actively fighting inflammation, boosting your immune system, and giving your brain the fuel it needs to thrive. Each nutrient-dense meal you eat, you are providing your cells with the building blocks they need to repair and regenerate. This is an active, empowering process where you are no longer a passive victim of your cravings or your genetics, but the chief architect of your own well-being. As you move forward, I encourage you to become a student of your own body. Keep a journal, not just of what you eat, but of how you feel. Track your energy levels, your sleep quality, your mood, and your cognitive function. This feedback is invaluable, as it will help you fine-tune your approach and recognize the direct correlation between your actions and your results. It will reinforce your motivation when you see, in your own handwriting, how much better you feel when you stick to the plan. This self-awareness is a powerful tool that will help you navigate challenges and stay the course for the long term, transforming this from a program you are following into a lifestyle you are living. Finally, remember that you are embarking on a lifelong journey of health and self-discovery. There will be challenges, there will be social events, and there will be moments of temptation. The goal is not to never stray, but to have a strong foundation to which you can always return. The principles of intermittent fasting and healthy keto are your North Star, your guiding light to lead you back to metabolic health. Embrace this path with confidence and resolve. You have the knowledge, you have the strategies, and you have the power to create a future filled with vitality and health that you may have not thought possible. The journey starts now.